So with that being said, just like up here, my name is Daniel Odell. This next to me is the Fluffy Poodle. That is his legal name, those three words, the Fluffy Poodle. So people ask me all the time, what's his first name? I'm like, the. They're like, no, seriously, what's his first name? I'm like, seriously, the. What do you call him? The Fluffy Poodle. What do you call him by short? The Fluffy Poodle. That's his name, right? So to make a long story short with that, he is the Service Dog of the Year in the U.S. Veterans Magazine. We earned that title by doing a lot of hard work and dedication, because training a service dog never, ever stops to maintain the good medical equipment that they are. Forgive me if I do stutter, because I am a disabled veteran. I'm 100% permanently disabled. I know it doesn't look at that much, but I do suffer from brain injury. I suffer from some cervical issues. My whole spine and my neck is replaced. My arms will never work properly, so they go numb a lot. So if you see my hands in my pockets or them switching back and forth, it's because I can't use them properly. My lower back is still broken, but that doesn't stop me or anybody else from following our dreams. So I utilize my amazing service dog to motivate everybody all around the world on social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's a shameless plug, the Fluffy Poodle right there. You can also scan us right there if you ever need anything. Now, real quick, I need everybody's support. If you can, everybody please raise your hand. Now, I want you to put it down if you have a brother, sister, mom, dad, an immediate family member who's in the military.
Retired or not? Yes, actively or not.
If they served in the military. Thank you also for being a part of that family right there. Now, I want you to put your hand down if you know somebody who's been in the military. Now, like Michael Jordan said, okay, if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody was in the military, put your hand down. Now, that's absolutely everybody in here, right? That this story right here that I'm about to tell you, it can relate to. Because our military is 1% to 2% of the people who protect our nation, and why wouldn't you want to support them? So with that being said, we'll talk a little bit about a lot of things today, okay? Just a little bit about a lot. We're going to talk about my time in the military, how to receive a service dog training, life with a service dog, and why I do all of this on social media, and the importance of telling our story, because not everybody wants to tell their story and or is ready to tell their story, especially being disabled with a service dog. So who am I? And who is this dog right here? Well, believe it or not, we were both born in Illinois. I was born in Bloomington, Illinois, the home of State Farm. It's a little quick fun fact. I mean, that's where State Farm is. Bam, in the middle of Illinois. He was born in Chicago. His parents, the owners of his parents, most people don't realize this, but when it comes to service dogs, a lot of them are donated, or they're they breed them, and if they don't have what they want, they euthanize them a lot of times, or they give them away. So they had a whole litter. They gave them to this organization, and I was lucky enough to get one of these amazing service dogs. He is a Standard Poodle, purebred Standard Poodle. He is a social media influencer, the Fluffy Poodle. He films his life every day. He's the star. I'm just the broke guy next to him. We can talk about that all day long. I'm a student of University of Louisville and also a business owner, motivational speaker, social media influencer. That's what I do for a living. I spent 7 wonderful years in the military. During my time in the military, I was a chef. I love to cook. Everybody loves to eat. My job was to boost morale, not just with food, but talking to everybody coming through. When I went to Iraq, unfortunately, I didn't cook. I didn't cook that much. I didn't have to leave the wire. When I say leave the wire, I didn't have to leave base to go on missions. My job didn't require me to do that. But any downtime that I had, I volunteered and I left the wire and I did some awesome things to serve our country. Unfortunately, it did affect me mentally. And when I came back home, I struggled severely with PTSD every single day. I didn't want to go out and do stuff. I stayed in isolation like a lot of veterans all around the world. We stay in isolation and we don't know what to do. When I say we don't know what to do, a lot of veterans literally do not leave their house, can't find employment because of their PTSD. Imagine if you just hear a little noise, somebody just stands up the wrong way, or somebody looks the wrong way, or too many crowds, or Fluffy, stand, Fluffy, 6, or knowing that a lot of veterans are scared to not have their back up against the wall, right? Because their head is always on a swivel. They always think that something's going to happen. But having a service dog, putting them in that 6th position, watching our back all the time, now we have that battle buddy like we did in the military. So it's not just the emotional support dog, right? Fluffy, place. A service dog helps veterans with PTSD more than you can imagine. It gets us out of isolation by helping us, being our battle buddy, because in the military, we always had somebody with us. And that battle buddy is a service dog like him. It gets us out of isolation again to go out in the public and buy the food. Because that veteran didn't even want to leave their house. But when they buy in that food for that dog on that routine basis, they're going out and being more comfortable. They're also talking to people. My first service dog was a German Shepherd. I walked around, nobody bothered me. That dog retired, and then they gave me a poodle service dog, and everybody stops me. I mean, it's an awesome conversation starter. But before I had him, I didn't know how to talk to people the correct way. I was always angry. I always thought that the world was out to get me because I was always in battle all the time. It was battle this, battle that, trained soldiers to go to war. And then we come back and it's like you're not at war, but our mind and our body is still at war. I hear a loud noise and it's like my heart starts thumping. And what do? I start shaking and I start getting irritated. All right, you kind of ruined that one right there. So let's try that again, right? And then we start getting irritated and we start shaking, we start raising our voice. And then we have an amazing service dog that says, hey, it's okay. It's all right. Relax. So now I can't even raise my voice. You know how some people, they get a little bit angry and they just start shaking a little bit and they're like, yeah, I'm okay, buddy. I'm okay. Good boy. So what you see right there as well, I breathed in his mouth because he's also scent trained. Because if you don't know Fluffy Place, a lot of people with emotional concerns that they're working through, we let off pheromones. Everybody has scents. So he can pick up on a real alert, not these fake ones. So those are visual cues. He can pick up on scent cues and visual cues. And then we always reward him. But going back to my injuries, yes, I have PTSD. Yes, I look normal. But again, a little bit ago, I said that my spine is replaced. My arms don't work properly. So what's cool is I have this amazing service dog who knows how to do my laundry. Yep, he knows how to do my laundry. I have kids and he picks up toys too. My kids use him to do that. So what's awesome is if I get any of these toys right now, throw them around, he's going to chomp on them, he's going to bite them, he's going to do all of this stuff, right? But why does he not do it? Why does he not do it with a shoe? Because of hard work, dedication, and real service dog training cannot be faked. Fluffy, shoe. Shoe. He's going to pick it up in a nice controlled manner. No bite marks. Shoe. No bite marks. What does it stink? Pick up. Come. No bite marks, no slobber marks, no nothing. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? But if I give him this, watch how crazy. He's biting, he's chewing on it. He's swinging it around. You see he keeps going like this. Sit. Out. But he doesn't do it with a shoe. Say if I'm doing homework and I'm writing and I drop my pen because my lower back's broken. It's still broken. Herniated, bulging, pinched nerves all on my lower back. Fluffy, pick up. He can go and help me out. Pick up. Good. Out. No bite marks, no slobber marks, no nothing. Hard work, service dog training cannot be faked. Sit. But how do we get a service dog like this that helps with my injuries, my spine injuries, and then I also have heart injuries. So my heart, does crazy things because of my PTSD and other things that I've been through. But what's the process of getting a service dog and how does that actually work? And I know you guys have learned about this, but for veterans, it's very difficult, especially disabled veterans, because we're on a fixed income. That means I literally only get paid a certain amount every single month. How can I save on that when it's not that much. I can barely live off that. So we go to different organizations and we beg them. This is the timeline that I came up with. Maybe different from what your guys' timeline you may see, but first and foremost, you got to find an organization. When it comes to disabled veterans like myself and organizations all around the nation, there's a lot more negative, non-accredited organizations than there are positive ones. When I say that, I've been through 3 different organizations here in the state of Kentucky, and not a single one actually had legit training. Their trainers literally, hey, I'm going to train a service dog, and then they make a whole bunch of money by selling them to a veteran. I'm going to put it to you this way. Are you a coach that trains NBA stars overnight? So should you train service dogs like that overnight, being out in public? Probably not. So it's one of those things that you really need to think of and put into consideration when it comes to real service dogs and the training that goes behind it. So finding that right organization, it actually takes some time. In the state of Kentucky, I will only talk about 2 of them. That's Pausability here in Louisville. Amazing, amazing. And then the University of Kentucky, sorry U of L, but University of Kentucky, they also train service dogs. The downtime about University of Louisville, their wait time I think is like 4+ years. Pausability, they will work with you, but they have a long wait time too. Look, we're right next to Fort Knox. There's a lot of veterans around here. But once you find that organization, you got to apply. You got to do a lot of paperwork, a lot of paperwork. There's some organizations that require a fenced-in yard, some that require you not to be in an apartment, some require this, some require that, and it's another added stress onto the person who's already disabled. So sometimes they just give up because they look at it, they find the good company, man, it's a long wait list. Now I have to fill out a stack of paperwork. Oh no, what do I do? It's kind of disheartening. It really is. But during that, you need to send them pictures, videos of your house to make sure that you are living up to standard, because these dogs are not just a regular pet. These are high expensive medical equipment that some of them are well worth over $250,000. This one right here, over $500,000 of training that we put into him and his expertise and his breed, medical, everything. So once you find that good organization and apply for it, you gotta wait. Why do you have to wait 1 to 3 years? Does anybody know why you have to wait that long? It's a long wait list, right? I'm going to break it down. So let's say they have a litter of dogs. A dog is not an adult until he's 2 years old. From 0 to 1 years old, they teach dogs like this basic obedience. And they master basic obedience, such as sit, down, stand, circle, middle, 6, heel, place, touch. All of this is basic obedience. Basic, basic, basic. Service dog work is advanced. Break. Place. Service dog work is advanced. And when I say it like that, from 0 to 1 years old, it's mastering this basic obedience. And this is around fire trucks, ambulance, every single store, because you need to desensitize that dog mentally and physically, because just because you can train them at home doesn't mean that you can train them at Walmart. And then training them at Walmart is different than training them at the U of L concert theater. And then if you come here, you always have to train them each and every place. And why that's important is because you move on to step number 2, and step number 2 is mastering that basic obedience with service dog work. And each person has different disabilities. So they'll train 3 to 5 dogs for you, 3 to 5 dogs for you, 3 to 5 dogs for you, and now it's like 15 dogs that we need to take care of. That's a lot. So from 0 to 1, basic obedience. From 1 to 2, basic obedience and mastering that disability. And then at 2 years old, you finally get to meet your dog, and you hope and pray that that dog likes you and you like that dog. Because when I met this dog, I didn't like him at all. This is what happened. I went into the organization. They said, Daniel, we got dogs ready for you and everything. Great, great, great. Went up to Chicago. I went inside this room similar to this, and they said, hey, here comes the first dog. The first dog comes running out. I swear this dog was on drugs. I mean, it would not stop running around. It wanted nothing to do with me. I don't want a dog like that. I want a dog that's going to be my battle buddy, be my buddy, who's always there and help with my disabilities. So that dog left. Another one comes running out. It's kind of similar. And before he comes running out, they said, the next dog, we're not sure if you'll like it. They open up the door. He comes running out, and I go, no, 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 I do not want this dog at all. But he came, and he sat by me, and he looked up, and he said, Dad, I'm your battle buddy. A battle buddy is that person we had in the military that never left our side. We never did anything in the military alone. He let me know I'm not alone anymore. He let me know that, hey, I'm going to help you no matter what it is. So that day I took off my hat and I threw it. I said, I'm going to test this dog. So I threw my hat. I didn't even tell him. He went over and he picked it up and brought it right back. Instead of putting it on my head, I put it on his head and said, yep, we're going to dye a hat on him to make him a little more manlier for me. So that's why he has green hair, army green hat, because why not? A poodle is not the most manliest dog for a disabled veteran like myself. So talking about the training, talking about how long it takes, and then when you receive the dog, that's how you receive it. But then going to training, when does training stop? When does it stop? Does it ever stop? No. A lot of people will tell you, oh, well, I went to service dog training and they trained me for 2 weeks and then they gave me a dog and went home. I'm going to put it to you like this, okay? All these basketball players, all these athletes, everybody who's on a very high standard, if they stop training, they're not going to be as good. Somebody's going to take their place, right? They're going to go back to their old ways. Same thing with the dog. If I don't constantly train him, then he's going to go back to being a pet. Now, he still will be good, but you need to maintain training. Now, we believe training every single day, mentally or physically, because of just what I did. I love to train. I love to exercise. I love to learn. So this is why I'm also a student here at U of L. So with you guys, throughout your life, you're going to constantly learn. Why wouldn't you want the dog to do the same thing? So this is also why we do things like this. Stand, place. Place, just so you guys know, means all 4 paws on the object I tell him. So he can jump up and down, lay down, sleep, whatever. He just can't leave that placemat, right? Good boy, stay. So we do all of this just to maintain really good, high standards, because we all see that pulling on service dogs out in grocery stores and all of that. And this is a very high standard. That's his wannabe girlfriend. She lives in Washington, D.C., and this dog is always taking pictures everywhere. But life with a service dog, does life stop with a service dog? Can I still exercise? Can I still go hunting? Can I still go out there and be a business owner and show everybody what we do on a daily basis? Can we still do that? Absolutely. I can still exercise right now, right? Hard work, dedication, maybe a train horn or two. All of this is distractions. A lot of training that you have to do. So if you want to be able to exercise, if you want to be able to go hunting, you have to put your dog into those environments and give them a lot of treats and a lot of toys, whichever their favorite reward is. And this dog's favorite reward is a bumper. He loves this bumper. Second favorite is a duck. Yes, this dog goes duck hunting. Fun fact real quick, poodles are the second smartest breed in the world. They were bred to be duck hunting dogs. Fluffy stand, fluffy touch. The reason why they have these pom-poms is to keep their joints warm. In the summer or in the winter time, you see poodles with that big old coat. It's called the continental cut with the pom-poms on the hip. Well, that vest keeps their body warm. It's kind of like wearing a jacket. And then, like your knees, you kind of want them a little warm, your feet a little warm. So this helps keep certain vital organs warm when they're out there duck hunting. They're also the only dog in the whole world completely webbed feet. Their feet are like ducks, so they can swim really good in the water. Now, he's not the best swimmer, Fluffy, place, but he will go out there and get a duck. You guys can see all of that. Yeah. Quack, quack, quack. Stay. I clap because, you know, when after you see a duck, when you're out there harvesting them, boom, boom, boom. Fluffy, yes. He'll literally go out there, get the ducks, bring them right back. Oh, really? You're just getting really distracted today. Fluffy, pick up. Good, with me. Heel. Sit. Now, hold it. Out. Fluffy, bite. Good. Get this way. There you go. Hold. So he'll sit there and he'll hold them all day long too. He won't chomp on it. He won't anything. Because you don't want a dog to get waterfowl or any type of thing that you ask him, just like my shoe, and chomp. There's certain things he can, and there's certain things that he can't. This one, stay. Yes! That one he can chomp on. There's bite marks on it. There's everything. There's not bite marks on this. Now, go into some more training and life with a service dog. You need to understand there's a tool for everything. All these toys that most people will call them, they're not made for everything. Should you give a dog this and let them play around with this all day long? Absolutely not. This toy is made for biting and pulling, just like a rope is made for pulling. Those are fetch toys. They shouldn't be chomping on them. Balls, if you ever give a dog a tennis ball, that's the number one thing you shouldn't give them because it's a choking hazard. Get the balls that have a hole in them because if they swallow, they can still breathe. Also, doctors can reach in, hook that ball, and pull it out if it has that hole in it. Fluffy, you a good boy? Yeah? Fluffy, bites! Good boy. Oh, you're going to be lazy today. Who's a good boy? Yes! There we go. There we go. Out. Bite. Good. Out. Banana, bicycle, blueberry, bite. Hard work, dedication cannot be faked, okay? When I say it like this with all service dog training, I keep saying that over and over and over. Place. A service dog should be able to turn on and off. Good boy. You see how literally, place, how literally we can go from playing to training to me having an episode in a matter of an instant. Because life with a service dog, you have to desensitize. You have to train each and every place that you're going to go to in the future. And this is why it takes those 1 to 3 years. Outside of that, social media. Everybody loves social media, right? So if you guys haven't seen this little QR code, if you scan that on your phone, it will literally take you to all of our social media, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We are social media influencers that travel all around the world telling our story. Because number one, not everybody wants to tell their story and or is ready to tell their story, okay? We are advocates. We go to Washington, D.C. We film our life. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret real quick. Please, you guys can let everybody know if you want to, but please just be a little quiet with this information. Next week, I am going to the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. And I think it's Bowling Green. Is it Bowling Green over there? I think it is. Owensboro south of us, right? Yeah, so Bowling Green. So next week I'm going to the Bluegrass Hall of Fame. We're going to have some really great artists going to take me and the Fluffy Poodle story, and they're going to write a song that's going to be aired at the end of this month. So it would be great for you guys to scan and follow. And when the time comes, it'd be awesome if you guys watch that and shared it. Hopefully it goes very, very viral. This ain't nothing like a song about a veteran, you know what I mean? And especially one with an awesome service dog. But why do we do all of this? We advocate, inspire, and to motivate. Yeah, I spelled that right, motivate. Because think about it. What's your motive to get to your fate? Believe it or not, I only told you a little bit about what I've been through in the military. But before the military, I'm a survivor of every type of abuse there is as a child. I've been through group homes. I've been through foster homes. I've been through shelters. I didn't graduate high school. I have a GED. But you see all of the stuff that I talked about, just like all the challenges that you guys have faced and will face in the future, is not going to stop you guys from following your dreams. It's not going to. You guys have one life, so let's live it to its fullest. There was one day where I literally thought negative every single day, where I did some really crazy things. But I'll never do that again, because I know telling my story and letting everybody know that it's okay to struggle. Because when you look around, everybody struggles. Most people hide it better than others. So number one, you're not alone with what you're going through. And this is why we also share and advocate and inspire everybody to continue following your dreams. So with that being said, shameless plug. I said that a lot, right? Shameless plug right there. That's the Fluffy Poodle. Follow us. And understand that service dogs are medical equipment that need to be taken seriously. Understand from the American Disability Act that you guys have been learning about. There's a lot of loopholes in that. Technically, you can just go and get a dog, throw a vest on it from Amazon, say it's a service dog, and as long as it mitigates a disability, then it's a service dog according to ADA. But how good is it when you actually take it in public, and if something happens out in public, it's not going to stand up in court if you did that. So, ADA law, I would hope that with all the things that you guys are learning, that maybe somebody steps up in the future and we help change that. Because we also advocate on Capitol Hill, which you guys can see on our social media. A couple weeks ago, we were on Capitol Hill advocating. Amazing, amazing dog. But with that being said, thank you all for your time. This guy right here is very famous. His name's Rod Rodriguez. He's one of the guys who helped change my life. He said it would be a disservice to all those soldiers who aren't here anymore if I didn't continue to live my life. Because at one time I was seriously struggling with life. And he said those soldiers who aren't here anymore would love the opportunity that each and every one of you and I have to live your life. So it's best if I live it to its fullest. And ever since that day, I continue to live my life to its fullest. He's also the Global War on Terrorism Foundation president, and we're making a memorial at in Washington, D.C., next to the Lincoln Memorial. We travel literally everywhere, do everything, filming with the VA and people all around the world. Our next event, that major event that we're going to be going to, is the Owensboro thing, and then the Military Influencer Conference, and other things. With that being said, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody want to know absolutely anything? I'm literally an open book on anything. What's up?
But whenever you have those panic episodes, if another person had them, would he respond too, or would it only just be you?
Only to me. There's some people who would say like, oh, my dog picks up on something you're going through. So when I'm around other veterans, for example, there's sometimes where he'll just pull me away to another veteran. And as long as I'm okay, I let that happen. So a fun fact is dogs release oxytocin. Oxytocin is a feel-good chemical. So when you look at a dog, it releases oxytocin, and when you touch them, it releases more oxytocin. That's why everybody loves touching and feeling on a dog, right? I mean, and then poodles also, they are hypoallergenic. Their hair is not typical dog hair. It doesn't feel like dog hair. It feels like polar bear and human hair mixed. They're a little bit waterproof. And then if you don't brush them every day, kind of like some people with long hair, starts getting knots. So this is why you'll see a lot of poodles who aren't brushed properly. They'll start like getting very knotty and curly and stuff. Any other fun questions?
Have you considered courting him?
No, not going to happen. So brushing, if you guys don't know what courting, it's kind of like dreads on a poodle, okay? It's one less brushing, but with me having a service dog, if I had a pet, possibly. But we go out in public so much that if you smell him, he doesn't smell like a wet dog. Even if he went and rolled in mud right now, I promise you I'm going to take him home. I'm going to hurry up and bathe him because we're out in public so much. This dog literally does get black sometimes because of Well, that picture's gone. But going out duck hunting, there's pictures on Instagram of, you guys know those sticky things that stick onto your socks when you hunt in the woods? It took me 2.5 hours last fall to get about 3,000 of them off of him. And I'm just brushing one by one. And how we do that is with any dog, I recommend 2 things. It's a slicker brush. It's a brush with a whole bunch of little wires, okay? Cats, really good for cats as well. I'm not a cat person though. The other one is a metal comb. Never ever go wrong with a metal comb. Now poodles, you should be able to do that with, like literally just brush it right through, okay? Just like, people with long hair. If you have really good brushed hair, you can just go right through. If not, just comb it up a little bit more. When it comes to first aid, I always take around with me septic powder. Does anybody know what this is? No? This is a quick clot. Does anybody know what quick clot is? So basically, if I have a wound, if a dog has a wound, I can put this powder on it. It's going to stop the bleeding immediately. Okay, it's a temporary Band-Aid. They also have this in gel form. But since we're out in public so much or walking down the roads, say if he steps on something, I can easily just put it on him. We can keep rolling until we can get more medical attention. Any other questions? You guys want to see anything?
Is his beard to make him look more manly too?
Yes, so if you follow us on Fluffy Touch, I'm having him touch like this so everybody can see in the back. Fluffy Touch. Good. So he has a beard. If you follow us on social media, his hair actually used to be blue. The manufacturer for dog hair dye. I can't stress it enough. I only use dog hair dye, not human. It's only made for dogs, and it's made of plants. I cannot tell you the name because they don't sponsor us. If you want to hook us up with them and sponsor, absolutely, I'll tell you the name. But there's only 2 companies out there that's 100% only made of plants, that's specifically only made for dogs. This is permanent, so I put it on him and tell him to break. I tell him to lay down, and he'll lay down for 30 minutes, and then I wash it off with cold water. When we switched the blue to green, everybody kept like, oh, is that a girl dog? Is that a girl dog? So I was like, what else can I do to make him more like boyish, I guess, or manly? So I grew a beard. I don't know, does it look cool? You guys like it? It's different. Say what?
Would you dye the beard?
So the reason why, I'm going to go back to that picture. So here's a good thing and bad thing about people who dye their dogs. I'm not saying this is unsafe. I know this dog and this trainer, and this dog can handle it, okay? But what they do majority of the time is they'll put a dog up on the table, and then they put that leash around their neck to make them stand up, and then they put a leash around their behind to make them stand up. When you dye a dog, a lot of these dogs aren't fully trained or anything. So they'll put the dye on it, which takes about 30 minutes an hour. Then it has to stay on that dog for 30 minutes an hour. So now you're forcing that dog to stand up. If I put it on his beard, I don't want him to stand up and then lay down. So when I'm at home and I just put on his top knot and I tell him to lay down, he's not uncomfortable. So I really want to dye that beard, but I also make sure I take care of him. Now when it comes to treats of what I what I give him, since he saves my life on a daily basis, the least I can do is give him the top of the line toys, the top of the line treats. These are some of the most expensive treats there are. Orion, that's a really good brand, which I call really good. These are just dehydrated chicken breasts, okay? I like natural things. If you ask me what works best for me and my dog, I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter what works best for us, because your dog, what works best for us may not work for you and your dog, right? You may like pizza, you may like fish, you may like beef, you may like duck. Dogs are the same thing. So if you got to figure out what works best with your budget and your dog. So there's no right or wrong food or treat, just works best for you two.
You said that you have children.
Yes.
What kind of relationship does he have with your children?
So when it comes to service dogs, my children get to play with them, they train with them, but realistically, he's mine. My kids, they know that they don't have a dog. Point blank. If I was at home right now and the kid said, hey, can I play with them? Absolutely, go play with them. When that vest comes off, if I took the vest off right now, he's going to run around, sniff every one of you. He knows when he's working. When the vest is on, he's working. When the vest is off, once we get home, vest comes off. But real service dogs never actually stop working. It's kind of a downside. Something I forgot to mention. To the person who invited me here, seriously, thank you. Seriously, thank you. She interviewed me beforehand, and I said a fun fact that I completely forgot to mention. I haven't found statistics in any book or scholarly information on this, but everybody I talk to, this is the downside of having a service dog or a working dog. Regular dogs will live to about 15 to 20 years, right? Around 15 years. Service dogs, working dogs, will not live as long. For a long time, it didn't make sense to me. Why? Can anybody think of why?
Because they don't have like downtime.
They don't have downtime. They're always working. They're always not stressed. But you have to think about somebody who's working their whole life compared to somebody who's having fun, relax, have a little fun, relax, still getting the same amount of food, the quality and everything, right? This dog's also exposed to everything. Every time we walk around these floors and they put chemicals on them, and then he goes home and licks his paws. Every time that we go up and down anywhere, it's exposure to a lot of chemicals and things that realistically dogs aren't used to. So their life won't be as long. So a lot of us who have working dogs in the field understand that we can get about 10 years in a dog's life. So we said at the beginning that service dogs really aren't service dogs until about 2 years old, right? Because of all that training. And then when should you retire a service dog? What I believe is you retire them at 8 years old. At 8 years old, you take off that vest because at 8 years old, they also become elderly. All dogs become elderly at 8 years old. So take off that vest and let them be a pet. As in, this dog has never had human food before in my life, or in his life. So I can literally drop treats. I can put pizza right next to him, whatever I want, and he's not going to eat it. He'll never eat anything unless I tell him to. Fluffy, eat. So when he becomes 8 years old, I don't mind if he goes and eats that pizza off the counter. I'm going to encourage that. I really am. I want him to enjoy his last 2 years. That's the least I can do for an amazing service dog who saves my life on a daily basis. So this is why I stress about what I do. Leave it. Come here. Good. Sit. I stress about what I do, the hard work it takes, and then we turn that all around to inspire each and everybody to take our information and what each and every one of you will learn and grow with it. Last opportunity, real quick. Any other questions? Yep, go ahead. You caught me off guard, right? Because normally I lie to everybody. It's another reason why I dye his hair and I lie to I lie about his age for security reasons. It's hard to steal a dog, right? Everybody knows about stealing dogs, and then he's famous and all of that. Well, I tell everybody he's 5 years old. Realistically, he's 6. Okay, but if you would ask me 2 years ago, 5 years old. Just don't want everybody to know everything. Sometimes just personal. Another question?
So when he gets ready to retire, are you going to have another service dog like in training, or do you have to wait a certain amount of time till you can get another one?
So this summer, I'll be starting to talk to another organization to get another service dog. Will I have some requirements for that service dog since I already branded myself with an amazing poodle with green hair? I might. But realistically, real service dogs, you don't get to pick them. So if they train 5 poodles and all those poodles don't link with me and my personality, it's not the right fit, right? So I need to leave it to the experts. I'm not the expert. Now, if you guys want some really good trainers here in the state of Kentucky, Larry Cron, he lives down in Owensboro. He's an ex-3-letter agent, so that'll make you smile from ear to ear if you like that type of stuff. But he used to do that. He's also famous on YouTube, wrote many books on e-collars. And then Stoney Dennis lives over in the Lexington region. He's a veteran, and he talks about desensitizing all dogs from the age of 0 to 2 years old, because that's the prime time to make loud noises, do all these booms and everything. Because some dogs, you know, they be running. They'll run in a heartbeat. Oh, no, I'm scared. Thunder, I'm scared. No, my dog can't do anything but stay next to me, focused on me this whole time. Another amazing one out of state that I recommend for the females who like female dog trainers. She's awesome on TikTok, YouTube, all of that, is Dog Boss RVA. Her name's Brittany. She's also a veteran. I think that's about it. You ready, Fluffy? You guys want to see anything cool? Anything crazy? Is there anything you want to see this dog do? He can do it. You just make up something, I guarantee he can probably do it. Everybody's like, no, we've seen it all. So he don't, come here. There's some things my dog don't like, or does not like. He does not like me picking him up. Escalators, there's some areas where like I don't like putting a dog on escalators, their paws can get caught. Stand. But I mean, he'll let me pick him up, but you see that tail, you've seen that tail immediately like, he don't like it. Another thing that he hates. Come here. Hug. Hug. So if I mess with his paws at all, like he just doesn't like it. Only front ones. The back ones, oh, I can do anything all day long. Just personality, right? Dogs are like humans. Each day, they may want something a little different. So this is why I also have 2 different types of treats and always a toy with me at all times. Yep. Absolutely. You remember how I talked about there's a lot more negative programs than positive ones? The first one was a completely negative program. I got a dog that shouldn't have been a service dog. And I retired it early and gave it to somebody that would really need a pet, because that dog needed to be a pet, not a service dog. It was not up to standard. And it caused me a lot more problems with my disabilities.
Can you give some examples of how he should not have been?
Absolutely. For example, a basic heel. So a basic heel, even without a leash, right? Basic obedience is 90% of dog training. Not dog training, service dog work. Forgive me, brain function. PTSD, right? And the whole brain issues. But basic obedience. I can't stress that enough. If your dog cannot do basic obedience like this, lay down and literally jumping around, putting toys on the ground, right? My dog isn't getting anything. I don't even have to tell him no. That's where it starts. If your dog can't even do that, you can't even move on to the next level. That dog couldn't even do basic obedience. Now, let's say your dog can do really good basic obedience, right? The next step is all of that mastering on top of a disability. So when I say, pick up, who is more important, that toy or me? But not all dogs can do that either. So this is why I say that basic obedience first, and then they master helping disabilities. Pick up. I don't know if you've noticed this, but all of my toys, he kind of chewed this one off, but all of my toys have a rope on it. The reason for that is my arms do not work properly. I can't throw. Like, my arms don't work, right? So I can't throw like a regular baseball. So what I do is go like this, right? A lot of leverage. You can launch that pretty far. So all of them just use momentum. Fluffy, pick up. Oh, I love this dog.
I know you said that you will retire him at 8.
Mm-hmm.
You have him evaluated by like an orthopedic doc who says that he is structurally sound. Would you consider, and he still wants to work, because there are times where they don't want to work anymore. Would you consider working him any longer?
No. 100% no. He's worked enough.
Right.
He needs to enjoy. Let's say he lives past 10 years old. That's great. Let him still enjoy his last years, no matter what. He's done enough for me. This dog has literally traveled America. He's been to, you name the concert, the sporting event, to literally on Capitol Hill testifying in front of Congress. We did dog training in front of the National Capitol. We stood where Martin Luther King has been. He already has a 2-year degree. He's finishing up his 4-year degree. You see, like, this dog has the life. The life. So the least I can do is like, all right, be a pet now. It's what I believe is the right thing. Now, other people, if they want to work him a couple more months, that's up to them. But no, once he turns 8 years old, I know you want to play. Once he turns 8 years old, I will never put that vest back on. Yeah. And it will be a very sad day. And that's another hard thing that anybody with service dogs, the next one may not be as good as him or maybe better. And then the next one is also going to see him be retired, and he's going to see the next one, me, leave with him, and he's going to have to stay at home. That's pretty sad. That's also another thing that kind of pushes them a little faster over the Rainbow Bridge, because they don't get to leave with you anymore, and they're watching their replacement.
Oliver, who usually comes to class with me, is 11.
Pick up.
He's a lab mix.
Mm-hmm.
But he takes his job very seriously, and he charges down the hall, and I swear that it's given him some longevity, just being able to come and visit and, just be social.
So I more than likely what I'm probably going to do is, so on the side, what we do now is we also go to nursing homes and veteran, different areas to boost morale, kind of what we're doing now. And as long as I can't stress this enough, as long as I'm feeling okay, you can pet them. And I encourage this, it is okay to ask to pet a service dog. I say this again, it is okay to ask to pet a service dog. It is not okay just to go up. It's not okay to doing all this other stuff. No, but it's okay. Excuse me. I notice you have a service dog and I'm a dog lover. Do you mind if I pet your service dog? There's nothing wrong with that. Asking the human, acknowledging the human, not the dog. It's okay to talk to them. If they say no, okay, thank you. But it's okay to ask. It's also okay to go up and start a conversation, because a lot of people just want to talk to somebody else, especially who's disabled. It's okay.
There's the laws about, like, if your dog bites someone, it's your fault. If someone comes up to you and doesn't ask to pet your dog, and then your dog, like, the person reaches out the dog's face, and then your dog bites them, is it still your fault?
Yes, because your dog shouldn't have been going forward if it has a vest on in the first place.
Oh, I mean,
Like in general? Oh, I don't know regular pet laws. I couldn't tell you that.
I'm not sure about that either. I know if someone reaches into your car and your dog is in your car, then it's your responsibility, even though that person was not doing something that was very bright. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know, though.
The legalities?
People that run at dogs with their hands out make me real nervous.
Number one, never go with it. Never give a dog a treat. Here's a fun tip. Most people give a dog a treat like this, okay? Never, ever give a dog a treat with your fingers, okay? Put it right here. They're going to come forward like this. This is their nose. They're going to come forward. The reason like this, they can't bite anything. They're not going to put your whole hand. So, hold on. Eat that one. I dropped. My fingers started going numb. I put them up in the air too long. So, then you can also hold it there, okay? So they can slowly eat little pieces of it. English is tough. Breathe, relax, acknowledge, move on. I talk out loud, okay? Sometimes I have brain farts. So, who here has a dog? How many out of all those people, does your dog perfectly heel? No? Okay, I'm going to teach you. This is what I teach on YouTube as well, all over the world. Grab some treats, okay? Again, put it in between fingers right there. And this is what I call thumb to thigh. Keep your thumb on your thigh. Don't move it. Fluffy, heel. And feed your dog treats right there. See how he's staying right there? He's slowly eating treats. Thumb to thigh, thumb to thigh, thumb to thigh, thumb to thigh. And then if you run out of a treat, put another one there. Thumb to thigh. The thumb never leaves the thigh. And eventually, you could put the hand up, or thigh down, or thumb on the thigh. Put the hand up, put it back down. Put it back up, put it back down, and eventually, you can go like this. Treat. Walk around with me. You don't have to give treats so often. Stay. Sit. Good. Down. Down. All the way. Sit. Down. Sit. Down. Making him do push-ups, that's all. He likes push-ups. Come here, boy. He's a good boy, good boy. Another thing is play with your dog. All those people who do what I call recall. The most important thing that I believe that every dog should know is when you say their name and say come, they should come immediately. So you make it the most important thing in the world, okay? When I say make it the most important thing in the world, when I say come, he's going to get jackpot treats. Give him the most treats, the most praise, everything. It's the most important thing. Because let's say your dog's over there and there's a vehicle coming or they're running, you say come. You see, he was quick. Fluffy, come here. Good. Every time he comes to me, he gets the best of the best. Good boy, good boy. Voice inflection, raising your voice like you're talking to a baby. All of this stuff really helps out. So what you can do at the house is have two people have treats. One person over here, one person over there, and you literally just call your dog back and forth and give them treats. Once they get there, give them a bunch of treats. Get the other side, give them a bunch of treats. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Stand. Stay. Up, stand. Hold on. Stay, stay, stay. Yes. Aw. He's not that good at that. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so even right now, if I take his vest off, he'll probably run around and start sniffing everybody. But if I go into an episode, or if I tell him his name, a preparatory command, which is his name, and then the command, then he will go and do whatever I ask. So he can be next to you. Oh, this is another thing. Now when the vest is on, I can also give him certain commands and words. So say if I had you up here, okay, and I said certain words, which I'm not going to do because I'm filming, okay? If If I said those certain words and gave you the leash, he will only listen to you. So I can then walk away and go do something, because there's some areas that service dogs are not allowed. For example, churches, according to ADA law, a church can deny because it's a private organization. I don't know the legalities, but churches you can deny, operating rooms, certain sterile areas and hospitals. There's just certain common, like I went scuba diving the other day, and they didn't want him in the aquatic center. Then I explained, like, hey, he's real, he's good. And we set him on the side. You don't want that dog hair in their filters and stuff. So you have to have common sense sometimes. Any other questions? What benefits do I get? I'm going to be honest with you. I only choose to get one benefit, and that's my retirement. Since I'm 100% disabled, instead of getting a disability check, I get a retirement check. I could pull, when I say pull, I could accept a lot of other things, but I choose not to, so other people can have those.
When you get like your next service dog, and like they're both at home, if you have an episode, like, do you think they would both go to like comfort you, or do they talk about that?
I've never been asked that and didn't think about that. I can see it now. I go like in an episode and I get two dogs like, which one? That's kind of funny. I didn't think about that, because he also, a lot of veterans have issues at nighttime. So he knows how to go and turn the light on first and then come wake me up if I'm having an episode at night. We don't want the light to come on first. We don't want him to wake me up and then turn the light on first, because there's a flash, right? So that's why he turns the light on first and then nudges me to wake me up.
Well, thank you for coming.
No, thank you guys.
Fun.
Another question?
People have a crate him, or do you? Because like at nighttime,
So for most dogs, I encourage you to crate them. Absolutely. That's a good thing to do. He does have a crate. Does he go in there? No. Does he want to go in there? Every now and then he'll go in there. I mean, but he has a bed next to my bed. I buy him a new bed every 30 to 60 days. You know, just the cheap $20 beds at the farm store, like those big fluffy ones, because we're out in public everywhere. Those stink. That's why I replace it. And again, if you smell him, he doesn't smell like a wet dog. He doesn't smell like a dog. No. I'm very particular because how much we're out in public. My standards is extremely high.
For Oliver. Because he smells like a dog in 25 minutes, despite being dried all the way.
No, I literally have another book bag in my vehicle that I don't go anywhere with that has extra dog cologne called Doggy-O Arfmani. Yes, and it smells legit. All right, if you have a dog, I highly recommend that. Not sponsored, but that's one, along with a lot of other basic things like medical equipment, towels, dog towels, rain jackets. He has shoes that he wears, rain jackets too. He has his own umbrella that he can walk around. Absolutely. Like, you have to maintain for a really good service dog. One last question right here.
Sorry, so if you give the command and hand over your dog to someone else, if you're having an episode, will he react?
So I would not do that if I'm in that area, and normally if I do that, I am escorted with a caregiver, either my spouse or a friend who understands my disabilities. So would he react? It would have to be like, if I gave him to you right now and I leave the room, it would have to be from here to that, me exiting. But once I exit, he can maybe pick up on that scent, but he's not going to be able to get to me properly. That was a very great question, though.